Hello and welcome to your Core Motion Fitness Yoga Fusion class. Go ahead and join me on the floor to begin with a light stretching sequence before we move into a yoga flow. We're going to start on our backs. Go ahead and hug your knees into your body and gently rock side to side. And then let's go ahead and take our knees and press them out to 90 degrees. Open our arms out to the side and just let your palms rest on the floor. Rest the back of your head on the mat, draw your belly button towards your spine, and we will gently rock our knees to one side, moving in a dynamic movement here, side to side, at your own pace. And on this next one, go ahead and let your knees fall all the way toward the floor and turn your head and look in the opposite direction and stay here for 3 breaths. On your next exhale, go ahead and take your knees up and transition them to the other side, turning your head to face away from your knees, keeping your shoulders relaxed against the floor. And gently bring your knees back into your body. Hug them tight towards your chest, lifting your tailbone ever so slightly off of the mat. And then let's go ahead and move into a dynamic crossover. So place your feet on the ground. Feet are just wider than the mat, arms are out to the side, and we're going to take our right knee, drop it in towards our left heel, keeping our shoulders grounded, and then transition to the other side. So dynamic movement, just back and forth at your own pace, working those internal rotators. And go ahead and hold to one side. And hold to the other side. Good. And bring it right back through the center and hug your knees into your body. From here, we're going to extend our arms and legs away from one another, down across your mat, lifting the small of your back up off of your mat. Hold. And then bring your knees in towards your body. Hug them in tight. And repeat. Arms and legs away from each other. And on your exhale, bring your knees towards your body. And on your last one, extend your arms and legs and hold. While in this position, point and flex your toes. Roll through the bottoms of your feet. Feel the crackling in your toes and ankles. And one more in each direction. And we are going to repeat from the top. So bring the knees back in. Let the arms fall to the side. Dynamic spine twist, side to side, at your own pace. And let the knees fall all the way to one side. Turn your head and look in the opposite direction and hold. And transition to the other side. And then let's come right back through the center, moving into that dynamic crossover. Take your legs just wider than hip distance, and let one knee fall in, and then switch to the other side. Dynamic first, and then we'll enjoy that hold to really release those internal rotators. And let's take one more here and hold it down. Let that knee fall down as far as it will toward the floor without pushing. And gently lift up and over to the other side and hold. Good. Come right back through the center again. Hug your knees to your body. Extend arms and legs away from each other. And again, lifting through the low back, expanding through the ribs, and hugging the knees back into your chest. And extend. And we'll take one more right here. Extend arms and legs. Enjoy this lengthening. While you're here, point and flex your toes. And we're gonna move on to our next warm-up sequence using slightly bigger muscle groups. So hug your knees in towards your body. Extend your legs all the way up, pointing your toes. Good, and bend the knees. And point, and bend. You've got two more. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time, hold here, flexing through your feet, pulling your toes towards your body if you'd like. Gently hold on behind the back of the legs. And release. Pointing your toes, rotating your heels towards one another. Open your legs out into a wide V. Squeezing through your inner thighs. Close your legs back up. And let's try that again. And one more time here. Great. Now we're going to hold these legs open, really feeling that release through our inner thighs. Hands can be on the outside or on the inside. And bring your legs back together. Hug them in nice and tight. Rock side to side. Great job. Last thing we're going to do is take our feet to the ground, hands by our side. Roll our hips up off of the mat. Lift and gently roll down from the top of your spine all the way to your tailbone. And we'll take two more here. And one more time at the top. Let's hold. Pause here for a moment, resting on the back of your head, chin off of your chest. And release. Starting from the top of that sequence, bring your knees back into your body, extending your legs up, and bend the knees. Good. Nice dynamic stretch for the hamstrings. And one more time. And flexing the feet at the top, pulling your toes towards your body. Again, giving an extra pull here behind the hamstrings. And rotate your heels toward one another, open wide, and flex your feet back in. Good, two more just like this. And on that last one, hold your legs open. Again, gentle pressure on the inside of the legs or support for the outside. And bring your legs back together. Place your feet on the ground, hip distance apart, hands by your side. Peel your tailbone up off of the mat and lift through your hips. Release back down. And two more. Exhale, peel. And release. One more time on the exhale. And release back down. Let's hold it all the way up on this next one. Hips are lifted, getting up onto the upper back and shoulders. And release back to the mat. Let's roll over onto our front side and move into a prone position, starting with a dynamic cobra. Place your hands out in front of you, elbows pointing towards your hips. Feet relaxed to the mat, about hip distance apart. And we're gonna place our nose down toward the mat, gently rolling our nose off of the mat, squeezing through our glutes. Okay, lifting up onto our forearms and the palms of our hands, pulling our abdominals toward our back and squeezing our glutes tight. Hold here, and then slowly melt back down into the mat. And again, rolling the nose off of the mat, lifting back up. And release back down. One more time. Inhale in the bottom and exhale, rolling up and pausing here with the forearms grounded or choosing to go just a little bit more. And release all the way back down. Moving back into a child's pose. So hands come under the shoulders. Shift your hips up and back. Hands are reaching out right in front of the shoulders. Relax your toes. Now we're gonna do a dynamic shoulder rotation here. So you're gonna take your right hand, palm faces up, As you face your palm up, sink into that right shoulder, right hip, and then place that palm down, and left palm goes up, and our weight shifts to our left side. And switch. And one more time, switch. And now we're gonna take some time and pause on that right side for just a little bit longer. So shift back to right palm up and weight dropping into the right shoulder. Feel that release down your back. And switch to the other side, left palm up. Shift your weight into your left shoulder and hip. And release. Good. Take both palms to the floor, tuck your toes underneath your feet, and press up into a downward facing dog. Letting your heels relax to the floor. And then go ahead and pedal your feet. Dynamic calf stretch in this downward facing dog position. And let's hold both heels down and stay. On your next exhale, take your knees to the mat, and we'll start from the beginning of the sequence in our Cobra. So hands reaching out in front of your face, legs hip distance apart. Good. A dynamic Cobra, rolling our nose off of the mat and lifting up. Again, maybe you want to come up a little bit higher on this next one, and then rolling back down. And exhale, roll it up. And inhale down. One more time. And on this up phase, let's hold here. Pulling our belly button to our spine. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left. And release back through the center, rolling yourself down to the mat. Slide your hands under your shoulders, push back into a child's pose, and we'll begin our dynamic shoulder rotation. Right palm up, and switch to the left. And one more on each side, right and left. And now let's take a pause on the right side, really allowing the body weight to shift into the right shoulder and hip. And switch to the other side, left palm up. And release. Take your palms down, tuck your toes under your feet, and transitioning into your downward facing dog. Hips are high, belly button is pulled in, and alternate the heels off of the mat. Again, really stretching out the bottoms of the feet through your Achilles and calves. And then take that pause with both heels down, letting your chest melt into your thighs, and breathe here for 3 counts. And moving on to a 3-legged dog. Soften your knees, extend your right leg up into a 3-legged dog, looking towards your hands. On your exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, rounding through your spine. Extend back up, and let's take 2 more. Exhale in, inhale, lift. One more time, and hold this leg extended. And from here, let's take a bent knee in that 3-legged dog and rotate towards the right. And then shift your hips back to neutral. Rotate toward the right again. And shift back to neutral. On this last one, we will hold for 3 breaths. And release. Looking towards your fingertips, take your right leg, slide your knee between your heels of your hands, slide your left leg back, and lifting through your chest into a pigeon hold. And we will fold forward in our pigeon, reaching our hands out. And then slide those hands back up under the shoulders. and extend. And slide them back up. On this last one, we're going to hold that full forward fold. So enjoy the release in your hips and shoulders. Rock side to side if you would like to. And take your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your back toes, press back into a downward facing dog. We will repeat that on the other side. So pulling your abdominals in, extend your left leg, look towards your hands, and exhale, bring your knee in. Inhale, stretch. Good, and one more time. And extend, hold. Bending your left knee. Okay, rotating toward the side. And then shift the knee back to neutral. And again, rotate the hips open. And shift back to neutral one more time. We are going to pause here and hold. And then shift back to neutral. Extend the leg and let the knee fall between the hands. Slide your right leg back, lifting through your chest. Take it into a forward fold. And walk your hands back in, lifting through your chest. Fold forward again. And bring it up. You've got one more time, and we're going to allow ourselves to stay in this forward fold. Enjoying 3 big breaths, inhaling through our nose, exhaling through an open mouth. And walk your hands right back in and tuck your back toes, press back into a downward facing dog. And we are going to repeat that one more time on each side. So beginning with your right leg extended, lift, exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale, extend. And one more time. And hold, hold, hold. From here, bend your right knee and rotate open. Release back to neutral. Exhale, rotate. Release to neutral. And on this third time, hold, 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 hold. And release. And knee comes in between the hands into our pigeon. Left leg back, lifting through our chest. Fold forward and melt into the floor. Good. Bring it back up on an inhale. And exhale forward. And inhale, lift. On our last one, exhale forward and hold, counting 3 breaths. And on your exhale, take your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes underneath your feet, press back into a downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Inhale, prepare on the exhale. Bring your knee to your chest. Exhale up. And one more time. Great. On this inhale, hold the leg, 3 counts. Melt your chest into your thigh. And bend your left leg. Rotate the hips to the left. And back to neutral. And again, exhale, open. Inhale, neutral. One more time. Exhale, open and hold. Bringing the knee and hips back to neutral. Slide your left knee between your hands. Extend your leg back into a pigeon. Lifting through your chest, hold. And exhale, fold forward. And inhale, bring it up. Good. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale up. And this is the last one. Exhale forward and hold for 3 breaths. And gently walk your hands in, tuck your toes underneath your back foot, press up, rock back into a child's pose, and pause. All right, we are done with our warm-up phase. We're moving into our flow sequence. So from here, tuck your toes underneath your feet, rock back into a downward facing dog. Great. And we are going to walk our hands in towards our toes. Gently tuck our tailbone, roll ourselves all the way up to a standing position, letting our shoulders roll up, back, and around. Take a big inhale, reach our arms up, squeezing through our glutes, and letting our elbows open out to the sides. Good. All right, from here, release your hands down to the ground or down to your sides and take your right leg and step forward into a lunging position. So high lunge position. We're gonna start here with our knee over our ankle. Just release the hips here for a moment before we move into our flow sequence. From here, you're gonna take your left toes and turn them a quarter turn. So your left toes are pointing forward, right toes are pointing down toward the end of your mat, checking that your knee is in line with your heel. We're gonna stay right here for a moment. Let those hips open up. And then we'll take our left arm and gently slide over into an extended side angle, reaching your bicep right past your ear. From here, let's turn it into a triangle. You're going to straighten that front leg, reach your hand down toward the floor, and extending your left arm up. Now you may be able to reach all the way down. You may need to have a hand on the thigh. Hold here for a moment. We're going to transition between those two positions 4 times. So extended side angle, elbow to knee, and reach. Good. Triangle, straighten your front leg, and reach your fingertips down toward the ground. Lifting the left arm up, fingers to the sky. And we've got 2 more. Extended side angle, hold. Try to reach fingertips away from your supporting heel. And triangle, hold. Eyes can be looking up or down, whatever feels best for your neck. And extended side angle, last time through. And triangle and hold. Good. We're gonna turn this into a warrior. So bend your front knee, release your hand to your hip, both hands to the hip. Come on up, pivot on your back foot, okay? So now instead of a full right angle, we just have a 45-degree angle. Front toes still pointing forward, shifting our hips toward the front of our mat, lifting both arms up. This is a fun one. We're going to bend even deeper into our front leg, reach our hands toward our front heel, reach them toward the back heel into a lunging position, and then circle our arms all the way up and around. And let's do that again. So reach down toward the front heel, reach down toward the back heel, bending that back knee, lift all the way up and around. Good, we've got 2 more here. If you can't touch the ground, don't worry about it. Do what feels best for your body, all the way up. And last one, lunge. And reach all the way up and hold. From here, I want you to walk your hands to the center of your mat, turn both sets of toes, pointing forward, soften your knees, and fan forward. Let your head move side to side. Straighten your legs if it feels okay. And then bend both knees, lowering the hips, rolling ourselves up, back into a standing position. Taking your left toes, turn them a quarter turn. Check to make sure your right toes are at perpendicular to your front foot. And hold here for a moment, finding a nice solid position with our knee over our ankle, hips open, chest lifted, and we'll move into that extended side angle on the other side. So let your elbow drop to your shoulder, back arm comes up and over, and keeping that front knee bent, stretch. Good, and next move is your triangles. We'll straighten the front leg, reach our front hand down toward the mat, extend our other arm up, and hold. Remember, we have 3 more through that sequence. So bending your front knee, extended side angle hold, getting deeper into every stretch as you get warmer. And triangle hold. Remember, you can always look down at the ground to protect your neck. And extended side angle. And triangle. We've got 1 more. And extended side angle. Reach that arm as long as you can. And triangle and hold. Very good. Now, softening our front knee, we're gonna move into our warrior position. So bring your hands to your hips, pivot on your back foot. So your foot is now in a 45-degree angle instead of 90. And we're gonna just go ahead and face our body towards our front leg, extending our arms up, sinking deep into that warrior position, and letting our hands reach down toward our front foot. Nice, slow, deep lunge. We'll reach back to our back foot in a slow lunge. And then from the back foot, our arms circle up and around. Let's do it again. 3 more at a slow pace. All the way up and around. Good, you've got 2 more. And last one right here. And reach it all the way up and around, finishing down in that lunge position. Walk your hands toward the front of your mat and turn both sets of toes, softening your knees. Fold forward, let your head hang down toward the mat. Straighten both legs. And bend both knees and tuck your tailbone and slowly, slowly, slowly roll all the way back up. And we will move into our next sequence. So step your feet together, come to the front of your mat, roll your shoulders back in place, and let's move into chair. So feet are hip distance or even closer. You can have toes and heels touching. And we are just going to sink our hips back, extend our arms past our ears, pull our abdominals in, keeping in mind you can have your hands here instead of here. Hold here for a moment. We're moving into a balance challenge. So I'd like you to go ahead and lift your right leg up off of the mat, holding onto it with your right hand. This may be your stopping point, or tip forward into dancer's pose. Pressing your toes against your hand, hold. And we will revisit chair and continue on this same side. So back to chair, heels toward the ground, chest lifted. On your exhale, lift that right foot up. Go right into dancer's pose. And we've got 2 more. Sink into your chair. And right leg comes up. Tipping further at the hips, bending your left leg. And final chair. And on your exhale, lift up. Right leg comes into the hand. Extend your other arm out. Pause here for a moment. Now from here, we're gonna take our right leg, step it back into a lunging position, and both hands come to the ground. So line your front knee up over your ankle, hands on either side, or one hand on your knee if you need to, and hold here in this low lunge. From here, we're going to just walk our back foot in and transition into a standing split. Take that extended leg and back into your low lunge, lifting your chest as you do so. Now either walk that back foot in into standing split or transition the weight forward and lift your leg. Good, set that foot back down. Do not worry about your flexibility. That is why we're doing this. And exhale, extend the leg. And set it back down. You've got 1 more time just like that. Good, and exhale, lift and hold. From here, we're gonna take our extended leg and tuck it behind our standing leg, crouching down, with knees opening. Good. And then we're going to lift our body up, take our hands together, and lift up and over toward our front leg. Crouching back down again. And exhale, lift up into an atlas. Reach your arms up and over. Good. Inhale down. Crouch into that little ball. And exhale up. And we've got one more time on this side. So go ahead and slowly bring it down. On your exhale, lift up and over. And release. All right, bring both feet back together. We're going to start from the very top, okay? So that means starting with our side angle, and then we will go to the other side and repeat, okay? So step your right leg back. And extended side angle, move into triangle. A little bit quicker through the sequence. Transition into a warrior, so back heel turns. Very good. Take it down to the front, tapping the fingers to the ground, reach to the back, circle all the way up and around, and hold. Step in for chair, sink down into your heels, hold. And tipping forward at the hips, lift your right leg into your dancer's pose, hold. And step your foot back into a low lunge. Lift through your chest, look out in front of you. And put all your weight on your front foot, tap, or go right into your standing split. Crouch down into a small ball. Lift up into Atlas. And release. Very good. All right, I'm gonna turn and face the other direction. We're gonna do chair on our other side. So sink into a chair pose and hold. So everything from the top. Good, and left leg comes up this time. Tip forward at the hips and hold. Good, sink back into chair. Arm is reaching just a little bit deeper. And forward into dancer, hold. And release into your chair. And again, if this is too much tension in the neck, hands can reach right out in front of your body. And dancer pose. Great, you've got one more. Sink into chair. And dancer, hold. And let's step that left foot all the way back into a lunging position. Okay, your front knee right over the ankle. Pause here for a moment. And then we're gonna walk our back foot in and get ready to go into our standing split and hold. Send that foot right back into your lunge. There we go. And again, if you need to have your back leg on the ground, it's a great modification. And walk or hop that foot all the way up into your standing split. And we've got two more right here. Lunge. And lift the leg all the way up. Good, hold right here. Moving on, crouch. We're gonna take our extended leg, tuck it behind our front leg, crouch to the floor, lift both arms up toward our front leg, into Atlas, and hold. Crouching back down on our inhale. Exhale, lift up and over. And we've got two more just like that. Good, last one here. Crouch down. And all the way up and over. Very good. We are going to start from the top with our side angle. So step your foot back, turn the toes a quarter turn. Okay, we've got perpendicular feet. We're gonna go into our extended side angle and then move right into triangle. So go ahead and straighten the leg, hold. And transition into your warrior. Come up onto the ball of your back foot. Take a small turn of the heel and lift. Good. Transition into your lunging sequence. Lunge to the front, lunge to the back, circle all the way up and around, hold. Step forward into a chair, hold. And left leg comes up into dancer. Good. Step back into your low lunge. Chest lifted. And standing split. And crouch down. Both arms lift all the way up. And pause. Very good. Come back into a wide stance. Forward fold into that fan. Let your hands hang down. Soften your knees. And we are going to roll it slowly up. And let's repeat everything one more time. So, beginning with our right toes forward, left toes angled, and we'll go into our side angle. Good, and right into triangle, arms straight, legs straight. Good, transition into your warrior on your next exhale. Pivot on the back foot, front knee bent. Lunging sequence, lunge to the front, hands reach forward, hands reach back, circle up and around. Step your back foot in to chair and hold. Good, left leg lifts up, tip forward at the hips, hold. And step back into a low lunge, lifting through your chest. Good, walk or extend the leg all the way up into standing split. Crouch down into a small ball, up and over to Atlas, and step your feet wide into a forward fold and hang. Soften both knees, roll yourself up, transition to the other side, left toes turn, right toes back, and hold. Extended side angle, reaching your arm up and over the ear. And transition into triangle, both legs straight. Good. Bend your front knee, pivot on your back toe, warrior. Hands are up. And lunging sequence, lunge to the front and lunge to the back. And lift all the way up and around. Soften your front knee, back leg steps up into a chair. Hold. Good, left leg comes up into the hand. Tip forward, hold, and step back into a low lunge. Hands on the ground, chest lifted. On your exhale, lift your back leg up. And crouch into a small ball. Atlas up and over. And we'll finish with that forward fan. So step both feet wide, hinge forward at the hips, soften your knees. And tuck your tailbone, roll yourself slowly up. Walk your feet in, take both arms up, bring them back behind your ears, lift up through your chest, squeezing through your glutes, and lean back. Good, fold in towards yourself, elbows come in towards one another, rounding through your upper back. And again, on your exhale, lift up and back. Let's do that one more time. It feels so amazing. And inhale in. And exhale, open up. And release. Hands by your sides. Come to the end of your mat. We're gonna move into our last sequence, and then we'll wrap up our yoga fusion class. So soften your knees, hinge forward at your hips. Walk your hands out into a plank position. Hands underneath the shoulders, rocking forward and back on your toes. And then allow your knees to melt down to the floor. Get yourself into a tabletop position. Hands and knees are under shoulders and hips. We're going to tuck our back toes and just ever so gently push our hips back, feeling a release through the bottoms of our feet. And then come forward into tabletop. Exhale, rock back. And inhale, rock forward. And one more time, rock back. And rock forward and hold. Great job. Release your toes to the mat. Take your right leg, place it on the floor, your right foot on the floor. Rock back so your chest is lifted, hands are by your side. And then I'd like you to tilt your body weight forward, keeping the heel grounded, feeling the stretch in the Achilles and through your shin. Lift your chest as if you're looking up and over the edge of your mat. Hold here. Take both hands to the mat in front of you and release the knee to the floor and switch to the other leg. Place your foot flat on the mat. Walk your hands back just to get into position first. And then as it feels good, take your hands forward without lifting your heel. Rock your body weight forward, really reaching that heel toward the mat, and breathe. Very good. And walk yourself back into a tabletop position, walking our knees back behind our body, lowering ourselves gently to the mat, legs outstretched, hands underneath our forehead, and we are going to begin with a half bow. So take your right leg, reach your right hand to the top of the right foot, and stay here with your head resting on your left hand. Press your foot against your hand, and then begin to lift the leg off of the mat, rotating the shoulder up and around, squeezing through your glutes and your back. Begin to lift your upper body. Again, pressing your foot against your hand, looking out toward the end of the mat, not up, but out. And hold. And release the knee to the mat and release the leg to the floor. Transition to the other side. Bend your other leg and take the hand, same hand as foot. Press your foot into, or your foot into your hand to begin with. Begin to lift your knee off of the mat. And then begin to lift your upper body up off of the mat and hold. And release everything to the ground. Now you can do that one more time, half bow on each side, or you can choose to go into the full bow. So we're going to engage our core, we're going to bend both knees. We're going to take one hand at a time, reaching back towards the top of our feet. Press your feet into your hands and hold, feeling a stretch through the front of your body. Begin to lift your knees, lift your chest, squeeze through your glutes. Again, if you're doing a half bow, continue one half at a time. Switch when you're ready. Good. 3, 2, 1, and release your knees to the ground. Release your chest to the ground. Take both hands under the shoulders. Press back into a child's pose and stretch. Good. Let's repeat that sequence one more time. Toes to the ground and press into a plank position and hold. Rock forward and back. And let your knees come to the ground, hands under shoulders. Continue to keep your toes tucked. Again, gently pressing your hips back. We're not sitting on our heels. And rock forward. Exhale back. And inhale forward one more time. Exhale back and hold. And release your toes to the mat. Okay, right foot goes flat on the ground, hips rock back, chest lifts. And then walk your hands forward, keep your heel pressed to the mat, and hold here. And take your knee to the floor, switch to the other side. Good, foot nice and flat. Starting with your body weight back, lifting your chest. Walk your hands forward, drop that back heel. And release, great job. Walk your hands into or onto all fours, walking our knees back behind, lower your body to the ground. Again, half bow to begin with, hands underneath the face, belly button pulled in, reach around, same hand to foot. Begin first by lifting the knee up off of the mat. And then on your exhale, lift upper and lower, a little bit higher. And everything comes down to the mat. Switch to the other side. Pressing your foot against your hand. Again, lift through the upper body. And release. Option to do half bow again on each side or move into full bow. Both hands reaching for the tops of our feet. Roll our shoulders back and around. Lift your knees, squeeze your glutes. Begin to lift the chest, hold. Pull your chin in. And release your knees to the mat. Take your feet, release them to the floor. Press your hands underneath your shoulders and come up to all fours. We're gonna finish with a cat-cow. So tuck your chin towards your chest, pull your belly button in towards your spine, and release. Lift your chest and tailbone, eyes looking out in front. And again, tuck the belly button to the spine. And release. On your next one, round your back. Take your right shoulder and your right hip and move them towards one another, looking towards your back hip. And transition through the center and move to the other side. Transition through the center, release. And let's do that one more time. On the exhale, round your spine. And shoulder and hip move towards one another. Turn your head. And lift through the center. And transition to the other side. And release right through the middle. Good. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Press back into a downward facing dog. Walk your hands towards your feet. Soften your knees, lowering the hips. And gently roll yourself up. Good. As you come to the top, shoulders stack over the hips. Soften your knees, gently tilt your head to one side. Just a light touch of the hand on the side of your head. Drop your chin down towards your chest, moving slowly and transitioning to the other side. Again, a little bit of pressure from that hand. And let your chin fall down toward the chest. Stopping in the center as you bring your head up, roll your shoulders up, back, and around. Take your hands, clasp them behind your back. Extend through the back. Good, take a big inhale, arms lift up. And exhale, and have a wonderful day.